A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a candid interview on CNN's State of the Union, Senator Mitt Romney, who is set to retire from Congress, stood firm on his long-standing criticism of President-elect Donald Trump's character while acknowledging that Trump and his MAGA movement have come to define the Republican Party. Romney, who was the GOP's presidential nominee in 2012, stated, "I'm, as you know, not a supporter of President Trump's. I didn't support him in this election. I didn't the last time he ran either, largely for matters of character." Despite his criticisms, Romney recognized Trump's significant influence within the party, stating, "MAGA is the Republican Party and Donald Trump is the Republican Party today." Romney's criticisms of Trump date back to the president-elect's first campaign in 2016. He admitted to being kinder outspoken about his views, asserting that he believed Trump was wrong for the country, wrong for our party, that he wouldn't win. However, he conceded, "I was wrong about that." He expressed a willingness to accept that many people disagree with him, noting, "I just put emphasis on different things than I think the public at large does right now." In a surprising turn, Romney suggested that the incoming president deserves a chance to fulfill his promises. "I agree with him on a lot of policy fronts. I disagree with him on some things," he said, emphasizing the importance of allowing Trump to demonstrate his capabilities in office. When discussing Trump's unconventional cabinet selections, Romney remarked that they were an unusual collection of individuals, not the people that I would have chosen, but acknowledged Trump's right to choose his team as the election winner. Yet, he stressed the Senate's duty to ensure that nominees are qualified and without any potential scandals that could embarrass the country. Romney, who has carved out a unique position in the Senate as a critic of his own party, was the only Republican to vote to convict Trump during the first impeachment trial. He also crossed party lines in 2021 to hold Trump accountable for the January 6th Capitol insurrection. Reflecting on that day, Romney described it as a very dark day in American history, lamenting attempts by some in the MAGA movement to downplay its significance. Despite the turmoil, Romney expressed confidence in the resilience of American institutions, believing that citizens will ultimately prioritize the protection of freedom. As Trump hints at using the Justice Department against political adversaries in his second term, Romney dismissed concerns for his safety, stating, "No, actually, I've been pretty clean throughout my life. I'm not particularly worried about criminal investigations." Looking ahead, Romney praised Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, predicting he would be a strong contender for the GOP nomination in 2028. "If you were to ask me who the nominee will be in 2028, I think it will be J.D. Vance, all right? He's smart, well-spoken, part of the MAGA movement," he said, downplaying previous criticisms of Vance as outdated. Romney also credited Trump for shifting the Republican Party towards working-class voters, stating, "Look, the Republican Party has become the party of the working class, middle-class voter, and you've got to give Donald Trump credit for having done that, taking that away from the Democrats." He acknowledged the need for a reorientation within the GOP following this shift, asserting that the Democratic Party is the one facing challenges. Reflecting on his political career, Romney recounted the intense scrutiny he faced during his 2012 presidential campaign and noted the irony of being praised by Democrats for his willingness to oppose Trump in the Senate. "As I look back at campaigns and think about the angst that surrounded any mistake that I or a campaign member made, some small thing, these things were blown into huge proportion," he recalled. When asked about his legacy, Romney downplayed its significance, expressing a desire for his family to remember him as someone who stood firm in his beliefs and loved his country. "I want my family to remember me as someone who stood up for the things I believed, was not embarrassed by my fundamental beliefs, who loved the country and did what I believe was right to help preserve the greatest nation on earth," he concluded. In other news, a 39-year-old Montreal man tragically died of an aneurysm after waiting 6 hours in an emergency room. Meanwhile, bizarre photos of ousted Syrian President Bashar Assad have surfaced, causing ridicule among Syrians who faced persecution for criticizing his regime. As the political landscape continues to shift, the Canadian government is advised to reconsider certain policies to foster better relations with the incoming U.S. administration. Amidst ongoing labor negotiations, the Canadian Union of Postal Workers has expressed agreement with the Labour Minister's announcement of a timeout in the Canada Post strike. Thousands are expected to gather today in Colwood, British Columbia, to celebrate the life of former British Columbia Premier John Horgan. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.